Hello everyone, and welcome to Bathurst and sunny Mount Panorama for the second race of the season. On the front row we once again have Eponus and Alex. This time Elle is on pole after a dominant qualifying.
On the second row, recovering from his terrible result in last race's qualifying, we got Alpine third place. Fourth place is Mia Hart's Pentacoron.
Fifth place we have Alex Woodger in the Ripper. We believe they've got some improvement to their cars this weekend. And behind them, we have the two Frozen Lights in their new permanent livery. Let's get started. 22 cars on the grid, as always. 5 lights. And away we go! Generally
Good start from Alex. Both of the front row getting away well. Alex on the outside.
Oh, Alex has a poor corner. Alex Woodger with a really good start, challenging for second.
Looks like he's already ahead, doesn't it? Great straight line speed from the Ripper.
Jet Coffee's dropped 5 places, Daniel's dropped 3. Mia up 3 in the other Alfa Romeo. Elle pulling out a bit from Alex already. Lewis staying on the back of this group.
It's already looking like Alex Woodger might be holding them up through the mountain section. That Ripper car might be quick down the straights, but it seems to be struggling a bit through this part.
It is hard to overtake through this section as well, though. So that is going in Ripper's favour.
And the issue Alp's going to have is that once Alex Woodger can put his foot down the next straight, like, he's just going to be gone. This is going to be so difficult for Alp to get past anywhere.
You can see it here. Like, as long as you get a good run through the dipper for Alex Woodger, it's good enough.
Alex going through past Alp.
Yes. Further back, Mia fighting Chris.
Into the chicane they go for the first time.
Jack Coffey had a really poor start, dropped down to 13th. They did all get through cleanly though, which is very important. Alex looking for everyone. Alex Woodger into one? No.
That Think again does not have any lack of straight line speed. I think Alex is going to get a great slipstream off the other Alex here.
Yep. As Maggie has crashed at turn 1 with Ollie. So battling for 16th here as they go into turn 1.
Braun and the Skev Motors up ahead.
Oh, that didn't look good. Maggie is very much out, as is Ollie. Don't think there'll be much to do here.
So Maggie on the inside. Does Ollie leave enough space?
No.
No.
However, they are both out, so I doubt much will happen from this.
That wheel bouncing onto the track, but I think everyone's already gone through.
Yes. Alex did get through on Alex Woodger.
So now it's going to be up to Alex to chase down Alp.
Lewis passed out now.
So Alp is just dropping down the order.
Could be heavy
Meanwhile,
fuel.
his teammate up 4 places.
Could be a heavy fuel load for Alex. Ooh, slight lock-up from Alex Woodger brings Lewis right into it. Now just stay on through this section is the important bit. Frozen Light was very good here in qualifying, although Lewis with a bit of a lock-up of his own. Will that bring Alp into contention?
Now for the longest straight on the track.
Meanwhile, Alex is on the back of Elle almost.
That's incredible! 2 seconds nearly caught up in just that sector alone.
Elle may have made a mistake that we didn't see.
It's possible, but they've kept their gap to Alex Woodger, so I'm really thinking that that's just Alex's pace.
Could be
These two now into the distance as Alex Woodger having to defend against Lewis into the final corner.
Yeah, it's never that good of a overtaking spot, the final corner.
The best ones are into the chicane and down this straight, the mountain straight.
Yes.
But it looks
That
like Alex
Ripper
Wood just
does
had a
have-
very good exit.
As Mia. Oh, that's a huge accident!
That's the
So-
Aquilea of Alberoth as well.
So Mia Hart was off the track. Oh, after contact with Daniel! So Daniel is going for the overtake. Well alongside. I don't know.
Did Dan leave enough space on the exit?
Yes.
Yeah, the contact happened before even the exit of the corner.
And
I
then
think
what
that's
happened?
probably...
Contact with Alba and Ben Scott Evans, who is out. So Alba going down the inside.
Oh, it's the same thing we've seen so many times before, isn't it?
And I don't know. I want to take a look from Ben's perspective.
So unfortunate for him, because he just had like his best qualifying result ever.
I think that's on Alba, to be honest. I actually know. Ben could be further to the right here.
To be honest, any move into the first corner is going to result in contact more often than not. There just isn't space like all the way through there.
I don't think we can really penalise that, though. So Ben, Scott Evans, Maggie and Ollie all out at turn 1. Oh, Lewis still right on the back of Alex Woodger. Greg did get past Daniel in that. Of course, they had a fantastic battle last time out.
Greg was recovering quite well from his bad qualifying.
But we don't know how much of this is high fuel loads.
Alex right on the back of Elle up ahead.
Yes, let's see
That
if
Pinus
he
is
goes
fast
for a move
down the
into
straight.
chicane. Just can't get close enough, can he?
I think Alex would consider, like, now he's in the race for the lead. He could consider just waiting for the pit stop phases.
It's not him, though, to do that.
No. Alex is going to go for this, and I think one of his best opportunities is the
Lewis
next
is going to go for it
straight,
into turn 1, maybe? No, sensibly backs out.
thinks better of that.
Get a good drive.
Got a
That's
good
a
exit
very
here,
good
though.
drive up the mountain straight.
Alex
Looks
Woodger
to have the
parking his car
overspeed.
close to the middle of the track as he could get away with, but there's going to go side by side through there.
Just survived it. Meanwhile, Ileana and Mia battling. Mia's through.
I think that's Mia defending that position.
Yes, actually.
Chris really holding these two up.
That's
I
fine
think
by
that they would be
Chris.
on the back. I think they'd be on the back of the Alex Woodger battle if they can get past Chris
Meanwhile,
Rowe.
Daniel and Greg still battling as well. Lots of close battling, very few overtakes here today. Ooh, that was an interesting look from Ileana there.
I think the cars that are at the front of these trains are
Oh,
all...
that's
Oh,
a
Alex
big look
Woodger
up
nearly
for
hitting the
Alex
wall.
Woodger. But you just can't overtake through here.
And now 7 seconds after the lead. Probably more of that than that after Alex's mistake just there.
Yes, 9 seconds now. Lewis definitely with more speed this lap. Lewis does get through into third, it seems.
We'll see if Alex can break him into the chicane,
Meanwhile,
but it looks like he's well ahead
Leo
already.
and Chris battling.
That's going to let Ileana
And
through.
Ileana!
Oh, both of them!
Oh, Ileana hits Chris! Oh, we'll need to see that again.
So this looked like it was a move on Ileana against Mia, and it's a very last-minute decision from her to go for a move against Chris as well.
Chris just doesn't know that she's there. Like, would you expect her to be there?
Chris already thought he'd covered off the move against off Mia's overtaking attempt.
Yeah.
He definitely wasn't expecting one from Ileana.
That's definitely at least a warning for Ileana, I'd say. Because that move isn't really there.
She was making the corner though. Like, that Panus has very good brakes, as you saw in qualifying.
You do
like,
have a responsibility, especially coming from that far back, to not take out the car. And Lewis and Alex were just back through on Lewis. Greg and Daniel now right on the back of this as well.
Jack Coffey is closing up on them as well.
Yes. Mia might be having a look here. No.
Lewis still trying to get past Alex Woodger. Lewis, if that frozen light is as quick as we think it is, like, he's got a chance of winning this race if he can get through.
Yes. Oh, they made 7/10 on the leaders in that sector.
Did Al make a mistake and Alex wasn't able to get through?
Seems likely. Let's have a look down this straight again.
Look at the speed of that Panus car. Like,
Yeah, there's not a chance for Alex here.
I was going to say this earlier. I think all the cars that are at the head of these trains all are lacking grip but have great speed down the straights.
I mean, you got Alex here ahead of Zach. Oh yes, Racing Boy's first appearance in a race.
He's having a good run so far. I think most of those places gained as he's going for the move on Alex. I think most of them those places gained it from other people's incidents, but he's kept it on the track and he's only 4 places off the points.
Chris did get back on ahead of Alba. 10 seconds now, the gap from L to Alex Woodger. Lewis much closer this lap.
These two are holding each other up so much that the battle with like Dan
Ileana's
and Greg is joining this. As Lewis goes
Lewis
through.
gets through finally. This is
That is a critical move. We'll have to keep an eye on Lewis's times now, see if he can start closing down the leading two. Now, if Alex knows about this puts a lot more urgency on him getting past L.
You are... Oh!
As
L is out! We know this car had reliability issues and it's a hot day, but L has crashed! What happened here? This was not a reliability issue.
It looked like it at first, though, didn't it?
Well, we
That's
didn't
quite a
see...
strange place to go. Oh!
Just tried to carry too much speed, being pressured by Alex there. That'll really hold up Alex as well.
That's cost Alex at least 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But
and
L
cost
from
L
pole position.
the race.
Yeah.
However,
once again, they failed to finish.
Lewis can see Alex for the lead. You said 5 seconds.
I think it's even more than that, isn't it?
It's more like 7. But also, Alex has 2.5 seconds back. Or Lewis has 2.5 seconds back to Alex Woodger, who's already been overtaken by Ileana. Mio is now past Alp. I think that may have been coordinated by Alfa Romeo. Mia
I think given
seems to be on a lighter fuel load.
Absolutely, I was about to say that. Like, Alp hasn't really had the pace all race, and I suspect they've got like a one-stop fuel load on. If Alp has to make one less stop than the cars in front, then he's in quite a good position to challenge for the win.
Lewis and Alex are both released now, though. Be interesting, and as is Ileana. And we saw the pace that Panus has. Meanwhile, Greg is passed out now. Oh, he's having a torrid time. The only explanation could be a one-stop fuel load.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that those tyres would go off, because we've seen in the first race that the gridlocks were quite durable.
I was about to say, Daisy has been having a very good race, but she has got an early pit call. As we have someone off somewhere. Alex H is out. Oh, we've seen lockups there before at the end of the mountain straight.
Such a high-speed entry to that corner. If you get it slightly wrong, that's
fine,
Elise hitting the wheel.
It's fine.
Don't think she took any damage.
No, but that is a shame. Let's see, is that wheel safe? Chris is through safely. Alba through. And
There's
Alex
a long
is the
gap
other
to
side
Alex.
of the track. Alex has gained a second on Lewis through the mountain section. So Alex Woodger is now holding up Mia. But not for long, it seems. Meanwhile, Daniel is passed out behind as well. That #1 Frozen Light.
We saw in the opening race of the season that Alex Woodger had
Lock up
really...
from Alex Woodger. Alex Pitts. That explains a lot.
That's a very early
But
stop.
also,
That's
how
him
much
right
was he
into the
held up
pack.
by L? So
If
Lewis
Alex
takes the
hadn't-
lead.
Alex could have easily had a 15-plus second lead if he hadn't been held up
Oh,
by
yeah.
L. Like, it's kind of ruined his strategy. I think he was planning to take the lead into one.
7.4
Long
has to
stop.
wait for Daisy.
This could not have gone
Another
worse.
second on as well. The only solace is that barring Elise,
He's so far back, he's not really going to get held up by anyone.
yes, apart from Elise,
And
And
the
Jack Coffey.
Pentacore on.
no, not the Pentagon. Meanwhile, Greg is past Alex Woodger. So Alex I reckon Alex and Alp are both on one-stop loads.
Potentially. It's looking
Like,
a lot
Dan
better
is
for
right
Alex
on the
Woodger
back
in that
as well.
case. I wouldn't be surprised if Alex Woodger has a
Blowing
lot
up!
less fuel than that.
It's
That's Mia.
Mia!
And she's done
Disappointment
such
after
a good job for
disappointment for Alfa Romeo. But this will again hold everyone up. Allow Ileana and Lewis to get free. That actually helps Alex, I will say.
If Ileana gets anywhere near Lewis down one of the straights, then I think she'll be straight past. That Pinus is so quick at a straight line.
Can Alex get past Elise quickly? Or is just having EL at the start of your name enough to hold him up?
Well, good exit from Elise there.
Poor exit from Alex. Mia going for a move potentially. This would be quite something. The O flag is for Alfa Romeo's Mia. Stopping. Yeah, Alex, there goes Mia. Parks off by the side of the track. You don't look for a move into one, that is correct from Alex. This is dangerous.
I think Alex knows better, but he's going to be getting desperate because every lap stuck behind Elise is costing him 3 or 4 seconds.
Indeed. Confirmation there, it was an engine failure for Mia. And Alex is through at the end of the mountain straight.
Great move from Alex. We'll see what kind of pace he can do in clear air now.
5
Got a
seconds
few-
until Jack Gray. Daniel now still stuck behind Alex Woodger, like Lewis was.
Lewis now 11 seconds up the road, and he only passed Alex Woodger a few laps ago.
Alex Woodger got held up by Mia's blowing up, I think. That's why Greg is 6 seconds ahead. Ileana, quite close to the back of Lewis here.
I think Dan might be going for a move on Alex Woodger,
As Lewis pits.
as does Ileana. So Greg will be our race leader, assuming that he has enough fuel to get around it once
And
again.
does pit. Neither of these two do, although we knew Dan wouldn't. Bronwyn pits behind. Bronwyn, surprisingly on the back of Alp, has to be said.
That Salwan hasn't looked quick in recent seasons, but
So
Bron's
Lewis
really
with
been
a
outperforming
6.2.
quicker stop than Alex. Could potentially be a
Slower
shorter middle
stop
stint.
than Ileana, however, Ileana had to wait.
There goes the racing boy, and there is Alex coming down the start-finish straight. But it looks like Lewis might be ahead.
Lewis is ahead of Zach! Lewis is our net leader.
Being held up by Elise absolutely made the difference there.
Oh, yes.
And
Zach
Zach's
going...
going to challenge Lewis.
Oh, Lewis on the fresher tyres but heavier fuel load. Alex is now going to get held up behind Zach. Lewis could mount a huge lead here.
Lewis will see Alex in his mirrors, and he'll know that he has a real chance of his first Grand Prix win.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ileana is right on the back of Alex.
We're starting to get into one-stop fuel territory.
Ooh, another slight lock up there from Zach. There's no chance if you're Alex you go for a move here, right?
No. The point I was trying to make right now is I think Dan might be on a one-stop fuel load as well, because they're disappointing pace early. They're doing much better now they're on a light fuel load.
There's so many lockups from Zach, whose tyres must be gone, the tyres of Kings. Ileana!
Challenging Alex, and we know she has better straight line speed.
Through! Will Alex make a move back into the chicane? Not a chance.
Alex is going to be feeling where did it all go wrong, but I think where it all went wrong is being held up by Elle.
And Elise.
You imagine they didn't wait so long to get past Elle's broken car, like they would be up the road on all of those cars.
Lewis is only 13 seconds off Greg.
Rapidly reducing that gap as well. If Greg is one-stopping, he'll have to make up all of that difference.
But Lewis will have to stop again as well, we believe.
Yeah, so I think we could assume, potentially, that all of the top 7 have one stop left to go.
Through on Zach as well. If
now,
Zach is one-stopping, this could hold up Alex for a long time. The racing boy could be doing well here.
Certainly having a big impact on this race.
Mia's behind Elle there. Elle behind Bronwyn. Dan closing up slightly on Greg. They're pulling a bigger lead over Alp. Lewis, over the last, what, 3/4 of a lap, has caught Jack Coffey.
Lewis absolutely incredible.
At the
easily
place
the fastest
you want
one out
to
there.
catch people as well.
That Pentagon's not great in a straight line.
That frozen light is, that was easy for Lewis. And that's Alex Woodger ahead. As
Daniel
Pitts. I don't
They were
think,
slowly catching Greg.
as does Alp.
These are really awkward times to pit. It's kind of halfway between a 1 and a 2 stop. We'll have to see whether they're putting a heavy fuel load in.
However,
or whether they're going for a
that
short
means
middle stint.
Lewis will go through into third. That's a heavy fuel load for Dan.
I think they're fuel to the
8.5.
end.
Same. Oh, Alp has to wait for Zach.
That's the racing boy.
So Dan comes out in a long stretch of clear air behind Mia H. And
They're
ahead
not
of Chris
all
Arndt.
that far behind Alex, I don't think. And Alex certainly still has to stop again. But that's what, 10 seconds? Alex has a clear track ahead of him now, finally. But he's lost 9 seconds to
Meanwhile,
Lewis.
Jack
and all
Gray. That's a suspension failure, I believe. Puncture.
And that's 2 retirements in 2 races for Slim Pagan.
Ooh.
Lewis now right on the back of Alex Woodger.
Ooh, Lewis. That
Just
wasn't
about
comfortable. That will not afford him a chance here.
Who do you think Lewis's main competition for the win here is?
Maybe Dan?
I think you've got to say Greg at this point, because he's clearly on a one-stop fuel load, and he just keeps going round and round and round. But he has a lot more fuel than I thought.
Alex Woodger pits now. So Lewis is freed. Nice
stop.
Pit stop.
And I think he'll be fueled to the end from there.
Mia Hart hits. Daisy just overtook Alp. who...
Daisy had to
Not-
stop? Daisy surely had to stop, right?
I think Daisy may have stopped early? No,
That
Daisy
would
was
make
the
sense.
first to pit.
Oh, she's made a great undercut there then.
Mm.
To get even ahead of Alex Woodger.
Yes, but we... Oh, Alex
out!
Wood is out!
That's the same place Alex Hill went off.
Alex has to be worried about this, surely.
On cold tyres, just takes too much
Locks the
speed
front
in.
right. Yeah, front right would not grip. Meanwhile, the Pentagon... Oh no, that's not Pentagons, that's Mia Hart getting past Elise. It looked relatively similar from the back, both yellow.
Pretty much the only yellow cars on the grid. Perhaps the frozen light counts these days.
Frozen Light has gold at the front. It is a very nice new livery they're sporting here today.
It is. Can Lewis, or Dan, but it looks more like Lewis, take it to a win here today? That gap to Greg
I'm
is
sure they wouldn't
closing
mind
down.
which one finishes in first, as long as one does. Of course, they lost it with 2 laps to go last time out. Zach crashed. The racing boy is also out, we're hearing.
That's such a shame. They were like he was clearly on for a points finish here, I think, with his one-stop
Yeah.
strategy. So Alex once again stuck behind a Panus. It feels like all race long he's just been stuck behind cars that have been costing him so much time. He could easily be just out front, easily leading at this point.
Of course, we know that this is where Dan prefers to be, just in a track by themselves.
Knowing that most of the cars are
Dan
in
is
his pit
12
window,
seconds back
he's still
of
yet to
Alex.
pit. I think Dan is net third, I would say, right now.
I'd honestly say Greg is net first.
Yes, Greg and Lewis both have to stop, and I don't think Lewis is catching Greg quickly enough. Like, Greg's pace is incredible, considering that he started with 14 laps of fuel, at least.
Mia
And he's
Hart
been going on
pits
those tyres for so
second
long.
time.
And the Greg team, they weren't very optimistic that their tyres would work well in these hot conditions, but Greg seems to be doing just fine.
There he goes, comes into the pits now, having lost 4 tenths to Lewis through the middle sector. Everyone was catching on Greg through the middle sector, which is what you'd expect when tyres are going off.
The
Lewis
issue, Greg,
also pits!
is that a problem? Surely
No.
he wouldn't be coming in for a stop that early.
Maybe? No, that's not a problem. This is just Lewis's second scheduled pit stop. Alex also pits this lap.
So short middle stints from those two then.
Greg with a nice stop.
Will come out behind Jack Coffey and
Jack
Eliana.
Coffey leads. First time Pentagon's led in a while. Lewis with a 6.7, that's pretty good. This has to feel horrible for Alex.
He's going to be wondering where it all went
well.
wrong. I think that thing again is the fastest car out there, but he just hasn't had the opportunity to show it.
Dan undercuts or just kind of cuts Lewis here.
And that is for position. They both, like, neither of them have
So
to stop
I
again.
believe the top 3, the net top 3, is the same as how it was in Mexico.
Greg, Dan, Lewis.
Yes. Except there's no Michael to be disappointed in 4th this time. Dan, 8.4 back of Greg. Does Jack Coffey have to pit again?
Has Jack Coffey pitted? Like, at all?
Surely. I'm waiting to see the graphic. No!
And he's still got that kind of pace to stay ahead of Eliana like that. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Well, the tyre wear's pretty big, but I guess just the fuel loads are that
I think
heavy around here.
We didn't see much of Jack Coffey early on, and I think he was just saving those tyres as he
No,
finally
does
comes
pit
into the pits.
here. At 15 of 26.
what's
Ileana
gonna-
becomes about our 5th different leader, 6th different leader.
So I'd say Jack Coffey needs to come out ahead of Daisy and Alp to be in a good position here.
That's going to be tough.
Quite a slow pit lane here. You lose a lot of time now.
Well, let's watch Daisy's progress. 7.2.
I think Daisy's going to be ahead.
It's going to be very close here. Or not. Behind, yes, behind Alp.
The issue
Ahead
of
of
Pentacore and Brom's having a solid race here.
Alex is down in
9.
Albert 10th, Elise 11th, Frisk 12th, Mia 13th. 13 cars still running here.
Eliana
It's
a
only
race leader?
3 seconds ahead of Greg now. Greg has so much pace. Greg is easily the fastest on track right now.
We didn't really pay much attention to him early on, did we?
Well, that's because he qualified down in 14th.
I think if we'd known just how much fuel he was carrying, we would have considered him a contender for this win early.
He also got very lucky, I will say, not being caught up by either Elle or Mia's incidents.
I think he was too far back to be caught out by them.
No,
It's
he
almost
just
like-
passed Mia when Mia broke down.
Ah. Well, it's certainly worked out for him well now, hasn't it?
Bad final sector for Greg, but that is against the Panus. Slight lock up though in turn 1. Dan just falling behind. Yeah, Greg did have a bad final sector. Let's just watch Greg through the mountain section here, because I believe this is where he's gaining all of his time on those fresh tyres.
So we can see the gap to the Panus up ahead, and I wouldn't be surprised if Greg is right on Ileana by the end of this section. See just how much more grip that DLP has.
Those grid tyres really putting in work. Wow. Ooh! That didn't sound good. Or look good. Slight
Doesn't seem to
lock
have
up from
gotten too much
Ileana.
time.
Greg might be leading by the end of the lap. Dan's best hope is that these two collide into the chicane.
I think the Panus is too quick in a straight line for that.
It is. The DLP is quite bad in a straight line.
Well, it was quick enough to get past the Frozen Light in Mexico.
The Frozen Light was on much older tyres, from what I remember. They both go through another lap. Ileana doesn't technically need to pit again, but surely she will.
Her stop wasn't nearly long enough to be fueling to the end, was it?
No.
Oh,
and she's out! Doesn't roll back, but does block the track.
Is Dan gonna get through okay? They'll
This
see the yellow
could bring up
flags.
a red flag. No, yeah, Dan gets through fine.
The Marsh is
Very
tearing
good
that
work
out
from
of
the
her way.
marshals there.
Yeah.
Who else has
It could
just
have been
got back?
Horriblax.
Daisy pits. After being the
That
first
release-
to do so, as does Bronwyn. No one. Or actually, it releases
Alp and Jack Coffey.
Alp, Jack, and Alex. There's train behind Alp. Alex is just in trains all day. Meanwhile, Alba has worked her way up into 7th.
This was after that early collision, wasn't it?
Yes. Same with well, I was about to say same with Mia, but
She's not really.
oh, Greg's
recovered,
blowing up! That leaves Frozen Light in prime position for a 1-2. That has massive championship implications this early on.
A winner of the first race retires from the lead.
So Daniel threw into the lead. Lewis is in second. And
Alp up to third after an uneventful race from him.
yeah, but this would give Frozen Light such a commanding lead in the Constructors' Championship.
Alp into the pits. Is that an
Yeah.
issue for Alp? I thought they were on a one-stop fuel load.
Apparently not.
It's a very strange strategy from Alfa Romeo, and that's going to drop him right down the order.
That puts Jack Coffey... Alex got past Jack Coffey. In all of that mess.
One?
Into the chicane, I believe.
So now, on for a podium finish after everything.
7.1 for Alp. Daisy up in 7th.
I wouldn't
Albo's
quite
in
rule
5th.
out Alex chasing down the frozen light.
Daisy passed Alp.
As Lewis is rapidly dropping back. Now 7.5 seconds behind their teammate.
Was there a mistake from Lewis? In 1, maybe?
So the gap was 3 seconds,
He was already losing time.
I think they might have some kind of issue.
It's possible. Loose wheel!
Oh, that's something they'll regret later. That's going to drop them right down as well.
That could give
we'll see.
That would likely give Pentacore on a podium. Will Lewis even be able to get back with that?
It's a long way going back to the pits.
Alex could easily have been ahead of Dan, right?
Yes. Alex has lost more than 12 seconds in this race.
Doesn't get held up for once as Lewis retires. Jack Coffey into 3rd for Pentacore. Alba
now move up to 4th.
After that incident, yeah.
Absolutely incredible race from Team Aquilea.
Alfie Daisy for 6th. Bronwyn will move up to 7th. Elise 8th. Chris Rota 9th. Alba, Pentacore and Mia to 10th. And we have 10 cars still running. And 6 laps remaining.
I thought this might be a race of attrition where all you need to do to get some points is to finish, and it's definitely looking that way.
Wheel would be part of it though.
No, that's a really bad mistake for Frozen Light. Like, you don't normally see them.
I wonder if they
not
were
putting wheels on
rushing
properly
to get ahead of Alex. Because you remember Lewis came out to the pits just ahead
of Alex. Yeah, and it was a quicker stop from Lewis to do the same distance, so it's possible that's where they cut some corners. So Alex is closing that gap, and it's the next sector where we'll see if Alex has the potential to maybe chase down that gap to Dan.
Going to do the same thing 2 laps in a row as Alba pits. 5.9, promoting Bronwyn, who is now battling Alp for 5th.
Hasn't Bronwyn made contact with someone in this race as well? Or am I misremembering that?
Bronwyn was just ahead. Bronwyn was battling Skev Motors just ahead of contact of Maggie on lap 2.
Well, I doubt she'll be able to get past Alp here, because once that Alfa Romeo gets its gridlock tyres up to temperature, it should be way quicker.
Alex only gained by 3/10 in the middle section. That won't be enough.
No, it looks like Dan might be safe out front with their current pace.
Dan, 1:39.6. Alex coming through the final corner.
He needs to be about 2 seconds a lap quicker at least.
1:38.7. 0.9.
Not really enough, is it?
That won't be enough.
Such a great race for Selwyn, though. They've not... 6th place would be their best result since Season 2.
I give a big shout out to Daisy as well. Maggie going out lap 1, as we know. Or lap 2.
She's going to have a hard time defending against Alp in a few laps, though.
Is Alp really closing that much? Because Alp's busy with Bron. So Alex seems to be gaining half a second in the first sector. 3/10. Yeah, it's just not enough. Really. Unless those tyres really fall off a cliff.
If it wasn't for Elle holding them up with that accident, or if it wasn't for Elise holding them up after that pit stop, like any one of these things individually would have made a difference. Elise
pits. That would promote Lewis. Oh no. Elise just pits to last. So that was a really good strategy from Polite Puffins. Getting Daisy up from 19th to 4th. And I believe that early pit stop just allowed Daisy to avoid all of the slow cars that are running around.
But she pitted not being in that train, and she managed to get past most of them just by doing a few quick laps in clean air.
Yeah, 5 laps.
She's kind of had the opposite race to Alex.
And with 39.69, nice. 38.61. Alex getting slightly faster each lap. It's going to be close, I think. It's going to be closer than we think.
With 5 laps to go, well, they need to be 1.9 quicker each lap, on average, to be side by side with Dan on the line. Currently, it's not looking like Alex quite has that pace.
Of course, Dan at this point would definitively hold the championship lead.
Alex, of course, scored no points in the opening round.
And Greg's is not scoring any points this round.
Would that mean that Jack Coffey is second in the Drivers' Championship?
Where did Jack finish last time in the end?
5th place, I believe.
Yes.
They would have 20. They would be equal on points with Greg, but behind on countback.
Yeah. Alp isn't catching Daisy, and Bromwell's not catching Alp.
Not quite sure where it's all gone wrong for Alfa Romeo. They didn't really have the race pace in the opening
Mia
round
blew
either.
up.
It's true, and it was looking like Mia was the
That was a
quicker of the
good
two
middle sector for Dan.
in the early stages.
That middle sector alone may have saved. It has Alex worn out his tyres pushing.
Probably. I think Alex is probably just a bit demoralised after the race he's had. Like, he should be comfortably leading this, I'm sure is what he's feeling.
Because
he won't
Alex
know
has been
what the gap
faster
is
than
to
Jack as well.
All Alex will know is that he's in second place, and he has a car up ahead that's too far up ahead to see, as he even
It was
loses
only
time
4
in the
tenths
foot.
faster that lap.
So Alp now on the back of Daisy for 4th place. Like at now 7 tenths of a second.
Alp does have the fresh tyres. So this is the first time all day that Alp has been faster than someone. It certainly feels like it.
The two of them pretty much in a race of their own. I can't imagine Braun closing up on these two.
Depends on how much... Oh my god, you can see just in the corners how much faster the Alfa Romeo is.
Of course, Daisy's strategy of like 2 short stints early on was great for putting her in this
Well,
position,
Daisy's
but now she's...
middle stint wasn't that short. It's just Alp pitted
Fair.
really late.
It's definitely looking like Alp has a lot more grip through this section.
Daisy does seem to have more power down the straights though. Well, that wasn't the best corner through the dipper.
It's all going to be about the exit.
Oh, that's not a good exit for Alp there. I don't think Alp has it this lap.
That Polite Puffins is just pulling away down the straights even without having the slipstream. This is going to be a difficult one for him.
Braun is definitely closing.
She might be on the back of this by the end though.
If Braun could get up to a potential 4th place here.
It's already a brilliant result for Salman, but she'll want more. Of course, she's a former race winner in Formula Omega.
Yeah, Alp lost a lot of time there. But it's just going to get it all back through the mountains. This is the beauty of Bathurst, though.
You gain time in one part of the lap and lose it all in the next?
Yeah. And it's just how you set your car up. It means that small margins are what's so important.
We've definitely had a race where it's like kind of ebbed and flowed with different drivers being like competitive at different points.
Yes,
That is
like
Daisy
Lockup.
locking up.
As is
Alp
Alp.
closing-
Oh! Alp nearly lost it into the back of Daisy there. However,
Well
that
done on
did
getting
seem
that
to
stopped.
gain time in the end.
They might be trying new braking zones and an
Alp
attempt to get
seems
past.
closer
because
this lap, despite
It doesn't look like going down, like doing an overtake down the straights is going to be an option for Alp. So he's going to have to try it somewhere inventive. Perhaps turn one.
that. Thing is, Daisy gains so much time here.
That Polite Puffins car has a good engine in it.
Speaking of cars that we haven't really talked about, Chris Rowe is just sitting in 8th. Right ahead of Mia. This is actually even closer.
I don't know
Of
if
course,
we'll be
Mia
sitting in
pitted
8th for
very
long,
late.
but... Of course, the Pentagon has the same issue as the Alfa Romeo. It's not that quick down the straights. Indeed, it seems to be so slow down the straights. I'm wondering if Mia's got a problem. She's lost, like, the best part of a second.
Well, the Alfa Romeo is on gridlocks. The Cheetah Racing is on rippers. And the
And the
Pentagon's
Pentagon's on
grids.
grids.
Although Chris did lock up there.
We know that the Ripper tyres do have issues with, like, the tyres going off towards the end of the race.
Yeah. 2 laps to go. Alex is still only 7 seconds back of Dan. Jack Coffey in the most comfortable 3rd place possible. Alp still on the back as Dan starts the final lap. Bronwyn is certainly a bit closer. As is Alba, actually. They're all closing in on Dan, whose tyres must be going off on that one stopper. Let's take a look at the pit strategies, actually. That's
Obviously, yes,
Never mind.
yes. Some kind of glitch with the timing system there.
wrong. Yes.
But we know that Dan has done a one-stop strategy here, as has Jack Coffey. It's been a 2-stopper for Alex and
I
Daisy.
think everyone else? Alp 2 stopped in the end, remember?
Yeah. Bron, I think,
This
2
is
stopped as
getting all
well.
a bit closer. I think everyone did. Apart from...
Alba, I think she's going to run out of time, but she's so much quicker than the cars ahead. She's been getting like 2 seconds a lap up.
Meanwhile, we watch the #1 Frozen Light come through, likely be #1 on the podium. Honestly, still a decent amount of pace for Dan here.
You can see the Think again just towards the end of that straight. Alex is going to run out of time to try and catch Dan.
Given to Uru Industries and the gridlock tyres to get like tyres that work in such high temperatures. As Dan comes through to win the Australian Grand Prix, Alex finishes in 2nd. Honestly, decent drive in the end. One of the best performances of the day has to be said. Jack Coffey, Pentagon will be so happy with this.
That will be his first ever Formula Omega podium.
Albert does get past Bronwyn.
I didn't think she'd have enough time to catch up for the end, but she's managed it. This is the first race win for a car on gridlock tyres.
Indeed.
They'll be very happy about this.
And Daisy does hold off Alp to claim 4th. Disappointing for Alfa Romeo once again. Alba claims 6th, Bronwyn 7th. Chris is still holding off Mia.
She has 2 more chances to get past. Into the final chicane, and into the last corner.
Into the last corner. I don't think I've ever seen an overtake work there.
Well, she's going to need a
Of
really
course,
good
Chris
exit
got
off this
hit
corner.
off at that chicane very early in the race. Oh, Chris locks up. Is that a chance? No! Chris 8th, Mia Hart, Mia H 9th. Scared
least we'll take
Motors will score.
It's only the second points finish in Formula Omega.
Very important it is likely to be. As Dan wins, thank you everyone very much for watching the Australian Grand Prix.